When a company markets games under their gaming line called Funtronics, all I have to say is it better be fun. Hello and welcome back to Vintage Gaming Memories. Thank you for checking out this video. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel and please be sure to subscribe. If this is a return visit, thank you for your continued interest. I really appreciate the support. In this video, we're going to look at two handheld games that both came out in 1979 from Mattel. Both games came under Mattel's Funtronics game line. That's right, Funtronics. Anyways, this is Red Light, Green Light, and this is Jax. The physical structure of these games may make you think that this might have been part of a particular set, and that would be a correct assumption. These Funtronic games all look alike, with the same handle that's on top, and the black, very soft black plastic casing that they are in, and most importantly, they had that reflective stickers on the front, which, you know, I don't know. I think they're kind of cool looking. They do pop, that's for sure. So there are two more games in this set that I do not own yet. So there's a total of four. The two that I do not have, one is called Hot Wheels Drag Race, which looks a little like Red Light, Green Light. And then the other one is Tag, just like the game Tag when you're little, right? You just tag someone, they're it. Now, I've never seen any of these Funtronic games when I was younger. It wasn't until recently when I started collecting that I came across them. Comment down below and let me know if you remember any of these from 40 years ago, because I'd be curious to see how many are familiar with the Funtronics line of games. Alright, well, let's look at the exterior of these games. Both are very, very light. As you can see, Jax weighs in at 3.7 ounces, and Red Light, Green Light only 3.5 ounces. And this is without the 9-volt battery that they each use. These are very, very light games. As for the buttons on these games, they are very spongy feeling. So what I mean by that, it's not like there's the buttons that you might have seen or felt before where it's like a concave cap on the PCB and you press on it and you hear a click and you feel the click or the resistance to it when you press down. It's not like that, nor is it like a plunger. I think this is kind of like more of a PCB button pad. You know, it's like one of those buttons that you push down and basically you're completing the circuit on the PCB, and then when you release it, it breaks the circuit, so that's how it registers the button being pressed. So I think that's what these are. They do have a pretty similar setup besides the stickers. They do have the same slider switch here from a 1, off, and 2 option here. Let's look at the back. You can see that the battery compartment is on the top for both, exactly same casing, so obviously it's going to be laid out the same. And then you have your typical instructions in the middle. What I did notice is that, for example, in this one here, you could see the 4 screws, which is also 4 screws on this one because they're the same case, but these are 4 screws with a triangle shape on the head. Those are TA screws. The TA stands for triangle, which is different than a TP screw, which stands for tri-point. I've opened quite a few of these and I've kind of gotten familiar with it, so they need a different tool to open up. And the reason why they actually created these types of screws on these games back then, and even some today, is because the manufacturer intended it to be difficult. You have to buy these special ones, which actually I do have some here. And got quite a few of these, different sizes. But that's what you need to do, is to have them. It's not that you can't find them, but probably back then it wasn't as common, and that's kind of why they made it like that. So it's difficult from opening them up and messing up, screwing around with the insides. You know, since I had these out, let's take a look at one of these. I'm kind of curious to see these buttons and to see why these are so light. So let's do Red Light, Green Light. You know, before I actually take this last screw out, I'm going to put this under the microscope so you can see how these screws look with the straight side. So here you can see how it's a perfect fit with the TA screwdriver. You know, yeah, you could try to open it with a Torx driver, or like I said, a flathead, or any other type of screwdriver that may fit the corners of the triangle. But I'm a firm believer that you need to use the right tool for the job, so why try to cut corners? You can pick these sets of triangular screwdrivers that I have here for about $15 on Amazon, so they're not expensive to just buy if you're going to be opening up a lot of these games. It's always nice to have on hand anyways. I'll put a link in the description if you're ever interested. All right, so let me finish this last screw now. All right. Now let's open this up very slowly, since I don't know the layout in here, in case some of the wires might be snug. Okay. So I have my battery still in there, but you can see it is kind of snug. So this is the styrofoam that goes over the speaker. It's very, very empty in here. Let's take a look at this. Let me take the battery out first. And the board. Okay, well, here's the slider switch. And the board itself, oh good, comes right off easily. And here are the button switches. So yeah, it is, if you can see here the circuitry, it is one of those PCB button pads. So when you press down on the button, it completes the circuit basically, so that way it registers the button being pressed, and when you release it, now the circuit's broken, because you can see the trace from that. Let's just put this back together and put that battery back in and give this a play. Alright, I have the batteries in here, and since I had this one open, we'll start with this one first. It's red light, green light. It's a very simple game that you might have played as a child, or maybe you recall it in that Netflix movie Squid Game, which was a little bit different than the version from your childhood. It's a two-player game that doesn't keep a point total, or it doesn't even have a timer on it. Your main goal and objective is to light up your column, depending if you're this player or this player. You need to light up your column of lights first by pressing your arrow button, but the only time you can press the button to light up your column is when the light is green, not when it's red. So if you press your arrow button when it's red, and say you're about 3 lights in, you'll go back to the start. That is the trick. So you need to time it, because it will alternate when it's red and green. And again, the goal is to get all your lights lit, and then the first one to do so wins. You'll hear a victory tune, and then your column of lights will light up in a sequence to indicate who was the winner. Now, there are speed options on this game, and that would actually determine how quickly the red and green light changes. So if you press the square button to start, which is the start of the game, and that would just be in regular mode. But if you hold the start button or the square button along with the left arrow key or arrow button, it will actually be a little bit faster. And then if you want to go really fast, you hold the square button with the right arrow button, and it'll be really fast. So that's the different speed levels, and that's how you toggle between them. And then the slider switch between 1, off, and 2. Off is obviously off. In game mode 1, it's pretty much what I just explained. So on the game mode 2, you need to press it down twice to light up one of the lights. And that goes true for the first 4 lights. So that would be really, 2, 4, 6, 8 times to get up to the 4th light. The 5th and 6th light, to light them up, you need to press down 4 times each. So that's a total, 16? So that 16 times you need to press in order to complete your column without getting caught with a red light. I know it's a 2-player game, but I'm going to just play the one side. Okay, so you can see it going back and forth from the red, and actually it looks yellow, but it's green. And it's just toggling back and forth, and it kind of goes faster. So I'm going to just try to move it up here as quick as I can. It's red. Red. I won. Now, if I were to mess it up, let me show you one of my mess ups here. Okay, I'm at 3. Oh, and it goes back to beginning with no lights. Now, if we were to go on the, let's go with the mode 2. You'll see a little bit of a difference here. I hit it 2 times, I'm still on 1, as you can tell. And I finally moved up a little bit. It's just tempting me to do it. There we go. All right, well, I made it. It's not too difficult, but now that's, again, that's the first speed level. Now, if I want to make this a little bit challenging, what I would do here is hold the, let's see, up arrow key or button and then hit the start. And this should be really fast. And you can see how it's going back and forth very quickly. So that's the fastest speed, which is challenging. I mean, really? And that's just getting, this is on mode 1, so I just need to get 6. Could you imagine trying to get on mode 2 to get your 16? All right, so that's pretty much it for red light, green light. So now let's look at jacks. Jacks is a little bit different here. I do have some accessories. I bought it. It came with the box and instructions. So that was pretty cool. I mean, here's the original box. This is 1 to 2 players. A lot of color in the back. It is pretty nice presentation, I have to say. That is the box. And here is the instructions. 1979, Hong Kong. Very simple instructions. I mean, really, you got 6 steps to it. And I will quickly explain this game. I'm not sure if you ever played jacks as a child, but the basic concept is to throw a small bouncy ball in the air, and then you gotta quickly pick up a number of jacks that are on the ground after the ball bounces once. Now, I never played it, but I know how the game goes. But for this electronic version, what you do is you press the circular button right here, which acts as the ball, and then one of the 6 lights over here will light up, and those are the jacks. So once the light shows up, you need to press the corresponding square button, which has a picture of a jack on it, if you can see it. You press one of them, and then you press the ball button again to complete that round. So you start off with 1 jack, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you get all 6 jacks picked up in time, you win. Now you compete against either yourself, which I'll explain how that one goes, but you can play against an opponent, and these lights here indicate whose turn it is, player 1 or player 2. Now there is a timer, as I mentioned. It's sort of a timer. When you press that ball button to begin, you'll hear like a rising and a falling tone that gives you the indication of time. So you need to complete before that falling tone ends. And it could get difficult because after you complete 6, which means you won that game, and then you go to the next game, you start it again, it will actually speed up. There's 5 speed levels on this game for both game mode 1 or game mode 2. The speed modes are activated after you complete each game, or not round, but each game. A game is indicated by getting 6 of the jacks completed first. So you could definitely get some speed going on it, making it very challenging. So that is game mode 1. Game mode 2, on the other hand, if you slide it over, it's a little bit different. This one requires you to get 12 jacks. So it just doubles it, but you'll see that tone is not that long. And it'll only get faster if you keep playing it to the next level, to the next level, and the next level, because there's 5 speed levels. So this could be very challenging, and that's where the one-player game comes into play. That's where you would play this game, and you would just you would on the mode 2, and you try to get through the 5 speed levels, which is, like I said, 12 jacks per level, and that would be pretty challenging to do if you can. So let's give this one a shot. I am going to do it on the game mode 1. That's the beginning sound. As you can see, mode 1, player 1 is first. If I push the ball button, it's going to have the rising tone and the falling tone, and one of the lights will light up. I'll have to hit that button and hit the ball button again to end it. See, there's the button I have to hit. Whew, I got it in time. If I didn't get it in time, you'll hear what happens. I'll do it on this next one. Now there should be 2 jacks I have to get. So watch this. 1, 2, but I had to hit ball. And I didn't hit the ball button in time, so it gave me the buzzard sound. Now it goes to player 2. When it comes back to me, I'll be on the 2-jack challenge still. So it's not like I have to go back to 1 again, which is nice. But let's just complete this, and I'll show you how quickly it can get. So now I'm on 4. You can hear the 4 beeps. If I do it again, it should be 5 beeps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if I get this round completed, then I've won that game. And I am the winner. Now, if I continue another game, it's going to get faster, like I said, and it does. So we'll just go one more round here. You can hear the tone is already quick. And it goes up 3 more levels from this. So can you imagine how much faster it is? And this is on the game mode 1, which is only 6 jacks versus the game mode 2, where you need 12 jacks to actually win the game. So I think that's a pretty good challenge for a 1-player game. Well, now that we've seen the insides and outs of these games, the real question is, do they live up to the name that they're under? Funtronics. What do you guys think? I mean, for me, I guess they do. I mean, both games are fun, and they are electronics, so they are Funtronics. The concept of it is definitely intriguing enough to keep you playing for more and wanting to take it with you. Because look, it's got a handle, right? How nice is that? You can take it along with you. Anyways, I give these both a thumbs up. Not bad to have in your collection. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, keep your gaming passion from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.